I remember waking up one day and I heard, I'm going to say it in Vietnamese and when I just loosely translate it, these words, đi tu. And đi tu basically means like become a religious.
Ooh.
And I remember waking up. I don't offer morning prayer or evening prayer. Don't examine my conscience before I go to bed. But I just remember waking up, sitting, and I hear it. It was so clear and audible. It's like someone was just like right next to me. And I'm like, I looked around my room. No one's in my room. I sleep in my own bedroom. And I was like, maybe someone's like playing a prank on me. But it's like, if you're playing a prank on me, like, who in my family amongst my brothers like would know that phrase to say it to me? Or we speak Vietnamese, but like more or less before my parents, but not to each other. But I literally look around thinking that there was someone there. And I was like, my brothers aren't awake yet. It was like, I guess on a Saturday morning. And I'm like, maybe I'm just hearing things, right? So I like, whatever, go back. I mean, just push it back. But throughout that day, I heard it again. And it's
really?
Vietnamese, yeah. And I would say I speak Vietnamese well. But I would never have ever said those words to myself in which I also would understand it. I don't think to myself in Vietnamese, fluent in English.
So you think in English and you translate.
Yeah, I have to translate.
Head.
Only when I need to talk to my parents. So, but I was like, how do I know these words or this phrase? Like, what's going on? So it was a very subtle voice. It was not aggressive. Yeah, đi tu, become a religious. No. So I pushed it. I was like, not me. Like be a sister. That's what it hit me. I'm like, no. No one has ever told me you would be a good sister. And I'm like, no. So I pushed it back again.
I want to join the Marines. Right?
I was like, yeah. And so this is not yet my senior. There's a story behind that too.
Okay.
But and so I pushed it back, and it came back. It wasn't like every minute or every hour. It would just subtly come back, and I hear it, and I push it back. So I kind of like caved in, and I remember we were about to go bowling, right? And this back then, flip phones, and I had certain numbers on speed dial. Mom, dad, typical. My older brother had a cell phone. He never made it on my speed dial because he would never answer my call. But then the person after my mom and dad was the number to the convent. Because I became good friends with, I was slowly becoming good friends with the sister who was preparing me for the sacrament of confirmation. And I didn't know why. Well, going back to that moment when during our celebration, I remember looking at sister. She was congratulating people. I was looking at her in a distance and I said to myself, or I heard a voice say to me, you're going to be best friends with her. And I'm like, I'm not desperate to have religious sisters as friends. And so there was none of me. I was like, oh no, I'm not that desperate. But that she eventually became my best friend.
Wow.
After this. And so I had her on speed dial and I'm like, okay, I'm about to go bowling. So I gotta go make this phone call. So I called her. I remember I was sitting at the base of the staircase at my house. And I told sister, I called and I said to sister, I said, sister, I know this might be surprising, but I don't know why. I think God wants me to become a sister. And I hear this pause. I thought the line dropped or something. But we're on a landline. Because I called her landline. There's no way it could drop. But there was this long pause. She said, oh, and this long pause. And I'm just like, okay. I'm trying to understand this O that she has. You know, you have like those two O's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like,
yeah. Oh, like, yeah. It's like she was just like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not the person that God wants. Maybe that's a sign. But then she said, oh, okay. I think she was just trying to find words because she was surprised. I've never expressed this to her. She said, okay, I will send you the information to come and see. Do you think you can go this summer? And I was like, yeah, for sure.